Hello everybody, welcome to grade 11 economics. I hope from the last time discussion about the market structure, you understood that the concept of the perfectly competitive market. In similar fashion, in today's tutorial, we are going to discuss about approaches to maximize a profit under the market structure. So please don't forget to like, subscribe Dorii Tube channel in order to get more new video. Hordoftoota maatii Dorii Tube channel akkam jirtu nageenyi keenya iddoo jirtanitti sinaa dhaqqabu kun barnoota ekoonoomiksii kutaa 11ffaati. Yeroo darbe waa'ee structure of market kan jedhu waliin ilaallee turre. Achi jalatti perfectly competitive market kan jedhu bal'inaan ilaalleerra. Achirraayis wantoota hedduu akka isin hubattan abdii guddaan qaba. Mata dureen barnoota keenya har'aa immoo approaches to maximize profit jedha. Kanaaf viidiyoo haaraa dabalataan illee akka isin qaqqabu yoo barbaaddan Dorii Tube channel jedhu kana iddoo kana dhuftanii like, subscribe, share gochuu hin dagatina. Kallattumaan gara barnoota keenya har'aatti dabarra. Here we have total revenue and total cost approach. There are two approaches to maximize a profit. The first one is total revenue and total cost approach. And the second one is marginal revenue and marginal cost approach. Akkaataan profitii itti maximize goonu tooftaalee lamatu jira. Tokkoffaan total revenue total cost approach jedhama. Inni lammaffaan immoo marginal revenue marginal cost approach jedhama. So let we discuss each of them one by one. Total revenue total cost approach. In perfectly competitive market, the firm can sell any quantity at the market price. Because under the perfectly competitive market, the price is what? Constant. Price is given, which is determined by the force of demand and the supply. Perfectly competitive market keessatti maal jenneera? Price dhaabbataa jenneera. Jijjiiramuu hin danda'u. Maaliif kan murteessu eenyu jenneera? Demand and the supply jennee. Kanaaf dhaabbanni tokko hamma barbaade gurgurachuu danda'a jechuudhaan gatii kenname kanarratti. Total revenue increases as the firm sells more depending on the price and the quantity. Total revenue increasing because total revenue means price times quantity. Therefore, as the quantity increasing, since the price is fixed, as the quantity of the output sold is increasing, the total revenue is also what? Increases. Egaa total revenue dabalaa deema. Dhaabbata tokko keessatti perfectly competitive market keessatti akkuma dhaabbatichi product isaa dabalataan gurguraa deemu revenue isaatis akkasuma dabalaa deema jechuudha. Keessattuu maal irraa ka'ee dabalaa? quantity to akka total revenue dabalu taasisan. Pricing already constant one ta'eef impacting qabu total revenue irratti. Garuu quantity to dhiibbaa qabaanii jechuudha. Perfectly competitive market keessatti pricing maanni fixed constant ta'e jenne. Garuu quantity yookaan baay'ina namichi meeshaan inni gurguru sun dabalaa yoo deemu revenue isaatis maal ta'a dabalaa deeman jechuudha. Total revenue for perfectly competitive firm is a straight line sloping upward, just like this one. This red line, which is the linear curves. Perfectly competitive firm yookaan markettiidhaaf total revenue curve isaa maa'inni straight line upward slope deema jechuudha. Isa kana sarara diimaa kanaa jechuudha. Straight line linear curve. Straight line maaliif ta'e quantity dabalaa yoo deemu revenuenis dabalaa deema. Pricing constant impacting qabu waan ta'eef akkuma quantity asiin namichi kun amount product isaa baay'inaan yoo gurguraa deemu revenue isaatis maal ta'a deema dabalaa deema jechuudha. As the firm increases the quantity sold horizontally, the total revenue is also increasing here, straight line. The slope of the total revenue curve is equal to the price of the good. Because the slope of total revenue means the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue and price is equal. In fact of this one, the slope of the total revenue means it is the price of the good. The slope total revenue barbaadun marginal revenue barbaadudha. Perfectly competitive market keessatti immoo maal jenneerra price in eenyu wajjin wal qixa price is equal with marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is equal with average revenue. As last time we already discussed this one. For perfectly competitive market, price, marginal revenue and average revenue is what it is equal. The slope of the total revenue means marginal revenue. In other words, the slope of total revenue means the price. Why? Because price and marginal revenue is equal. Again, we can say that the slope of the total revenue for perfectly competitive market is average revenue. Again, because this is the two variables here, the price, marginal revenue and average revenue is equal. Kanaaf slope of total revenue jechuun eenyu jechuudha? Price jechuudha. Marginal revenue jechuudha. Average revenue jechuudha. Jarri sadiinu wal qixa waan ta'eef. Total cost also slopes up but with some curvature. That means curvature means there is sometimes it is not linear, just like of what the total revenue. The total revenue is straight line, but the total cost, this black line is what it is. Sometimes it is up to a certain point, it slopes upward, then downward, again it starts to slopes upward. So it takes some curvature. It is not the straight line, just like this one. Kanaaf total cost curve maalinni curvature. Curvature jechuun maal al tokko achi slope ol ta'a, achiin immoo gara gaditti downward slope ta'e deebi'eet immoo upward slope. S shape qabaata. The total cost curve takes the shape of what? The S. So why we can say that it is the curvature. Curvature kanaaf jenneen jechuudha. Demand, revenue and cost curve. In the short run, using the total revenue, total cost approach, equilibrium is achieved when The profit is a function of quantity is equal to profit means total revenue minus total cost is maximized, or profit is maximum at that point. Maximum profit is occur at the quantity where the gap between total revenue and total cost is what? Largest. Egaa maximum profitiin bu'aa guddaan kan inni ta'u iddoo total revenue fi total costiin walirraa fageenyi isaanii guddaa yeroo ta'u. Fakkeenyaaf iddoo kana yoo fudhattan distaansii tanitti yoo fudhattan fakkeenyaaf this one, the distance between total revenue and the total cost is what? Large. So at this point the profit is maximum here. Profit in iddoo kanarratti bakka kanarratti maximum jechuudha. Maaliif walirraa fageenyi total revenue sarara diimaan kunii fi total cost distaansiin isaan gidduu jiru guddaadha. Distaansiin total revenue fi total cost gidduu jiru guddaa yoo ta'e profitiinis akkasuma guddaadha yookaan immoo bu'aanis akkasuma guddaadha. Total revenue fi total costiin walitti dhiyeenya qabu yoo ta'e profitiin xiqqaadha. Gaappiin total revenue sarara diimaa kanaa fi gaappiin total costii sarara gurraacha kana gidduu jiru bal'aa yoo ta'e distaansiin isaan gidduu jiru walirraa fageenyi isaanii guddaa yoo ta'e profitiinis akkasuma guddaa. Fageenyi isaan gidduu jiru immoo xiqqaa yoo ta'e profitiinis akkasuma xiqqaa ta'a jechuudha. When the distance between the total revenue and the total cost is large, profit is also what? It is large. At this point, we have here the loss. Why is the loss? Because cost is greater than what? The total cost curve, this black line is here. Above the red line, the total revenue. Total revenue is less than cost. But the profit function is what? Revenue minus cost. Egaa profit jechuun bu'aa jechuun maal jechuudha? Revenue keenyarraa maal hir'isna? Cost yookaan baasii keenya hir'isna jechuudha. Wanta gurgurree arganneerraa wanta baasii baasne hir'isna. Profit yookaan bu'aa jechuudha. Iddoo kanatti eeriyaan tun maal ishiin? Loosiya. Profitii osoo hin taane bu'aa osoo hin taane hin dhabne yookaan kasaaraa bakka kanatti. Maaliif kasaaraa ta'e? Kostiitu caale. Sararri kun eenyuun? Total costii. Total costiin eenyu caale? Total revenue caaleera. Total revenue jala jira. Kostiin gubbaa jira. Kostiitu caale waan ta'eef loosii jenna. Iddoo kanarratti immoo bakka jarri lamaan itti wal qaxxaamuratti at this point here, at the intersection point of total revenue and the total cost, both total revenue and the total cost is equal at this point. Here at this point, total revenue and the total cost is equal. Total revenue is equal to what? Is equal to total costs at this point here. Iddoo kanatti bakki total costii fi total revenue fi total costiin itti wal qaxxaamuran iddoo kanarratti jarri lamaan total revenue fi total costiin maa inni wal qixa. And this point is known as break-even point. Break-even point jama bakki kun. Break-even point means the point at which total revenue and the total cost is equal. Bakka total cost fi total revenue wal qixa itti ta'an break-even point jennaan jechuudha. Kanaaf graafii kanarraa kana hubannaa jechuudhaan. Total costiin total revenue yoo caale loosiya. Total revenue immoo amma iddoo kana ga'utti amma red linein kun eenyu ol jira? total cost ol jira. Total cost jechuun isa kana sarara gurraacha kana. Kanaaf jalarra jirti. Total costiin jala jirti. Total revenue gubbaa jira. Kana jechuun total revenue eenyu caaleera costii waan caaleef profitii guddaatu jira. Asitti garuu loositu jira. Why? Because the total cost is greater than total revenue. In fact, of this one, there is a loss. The vertical axis represents both total revenue and the total cost. This one here, this vertical axis represents total revenue and the total costs. And the horizontal axis, this represents the output that is sold. Kun vertical line maali bakka bu'a? Total cost fi total revenue bakka bu'a. Horizontal immoo maal bakka bu'a? Quantity gurgurame san. Hamma quantity product gurgurame san bakka bu'ani jechuudha. So profit curve inni kuni profit curve immoo isa kana fakkaatan jechuudha. This red area is what? The area of loss. Loss yookaan immoo iddoo kisaaraati bakka kun. Maaliif straight kana yoo ol baatan shii tana jechuudha. Loosiidha. Maaliif loosii ta'e? Costiin eenyu caale revenue waan caaleef profit is loss here at this point. And this area is the profit area. Why is it the profit area? Because total cost, this red line up to this point is greater than the total cost. Therefore, this is the profit area. Kan hubannaa jechuudhaan ishiin tun sararri diimaan tun eenyu olii revenue'n costii ol waan ta'eef profitiitu jira. Asitti immoo straight kanaan gadi yoo oofne loosiidha. Loosii maaliif ta'e? Costiitu eenyu caalee jira? Revenue caalee jira jechuudha. The second approach to maximize profit is marginal revenue, marginal cost approach. The marginal revenue curve shows the additional revenue gained from selling one more unit of output. Extra product sold, extra revenue gained. Or additional product sold, additional revenue gained. Akkuma product tokko dabalataan gurgurru dabalataan revenue argannu maal jedhama? Marginal revenue jennaan jechuudha. Product tokko dabalataan yoo gurgurru revenue dabalataan arganna. Kun maal agarsiisa jechuun marginal revenue jedhama. In perfectly competitive markets, marginal revenue does not change as the firm produces more output. Because why the marginal revenue doesn't change? Because the marginal revenue is constant since it is equal with the price. In perfectly competitive market, we said that price is fixed. Since the price is fixed, marginal revenue is also fixed. Due to what? For the perfectly competitive market, price and the marginal revenue is what? Equal. Marginal revenue and price is equal for perfectly competitive market. In fact, of this one, the marginal revenue does not change. Kanaaf perfectly competitive market keessatti maal jenneera? Price fixed jenneera. Price fixed taanan marginal revenue is maal fixed. Gabaa kam keessatti? Perfectly competitive market keessatti. Marginal cost changes as the firm produces greater quantity, because the marginal cost depends on what is the total cost. Marginal cost immoo ni jijjiirama, dhaabbataa miti. Maal jijjiirama? Total cost dhaabbataa miti waan ta'eef jechuudha. Total cost akkuma jijjiiramu marginal cost is ni jijjiirama. Marginal cost means here the marginal cost means it is equal with delta or change of what? The change of total cost over delta of the quantity sold. Q. This is the formula for the marginal quantity. That means as the total cost changes, the marginal cost is also changes with change of in quantity. Kanaaf quantity asii jijjiiramaa yoo deemu asirra kaane along the horizontal axis the quantity is increasing or it changes. In fact, of this one, the marginal cost is also changed. Quantity yookaan output sold quantity gurguramu jijjiirama waan deemuuf marginal cost is maal ta'a deema jijjiiramaa deema jechuudha. For perfectly competitive firm, marginal revenue curve is horizontal straight line because it is equal to the price of a good, which is determined by what? The market. So in the perfectly competitive market, we have what? The horizontal marginal revenue curves, just like this one here. It is horizontal. Why it is horizontal? Because it is equal to the price. Since the price is constant, marginal revenue is also constant. Marginal revenue curve maalinni horizontal curve jechuudha. Horizontal line ta'anii. Sababni isaatis inni kun immoo maayinni marginal revenue fi pricing perfectly competitive market keessatti maayinni wal qixa jenneera. Marginal revenue is equal to price for perfectly competitive market. Again, this is equal with what? Average revenue for perfectly competitive market. Average revenue. For perfectly competitive market keessatti marginal revenue keenya maal ta'a horizontal line ta'a. Sababni isaatis pricing fixed waan ta'eef marginal revenue pricing average revenue perfectly competitive market keessatti maayinni wal qixa waan ta'eef jechuudha. Marginal cost curve initially downward sloping. Yes, it is true here. Initially it is downward sloping up to certain point. Let we say up to here this point. The marginal cost is what? Downward sloping. Initially downward sloping. Jalqabarratti marginal cost maal ta'a? Sloping isa downward deema. Hamma minimum point bira gahutti jechuudha. Up to the minimum point, the marginal cost is slope downward. This indicates the region of what? Increasing the return of what? Low level of the output. Due to the increasing the marginal return is increasing marginal return, whether you learn or no, I don't know. This is maybe in the production. The marginal increasing the marginal return. It means that in the production, let we say here we have the production. This is the quantity. On the vertical axis, we have the marginal product. The marginal product curve look like this one. Initially it is increasing, then it starts to decline, and even it become what? Negative, the marginal product. Marginal product. And again we have another curve, let we say the marginal cost. Straight downward when you move here, just like this one. We have the marginal cost curve, which look like this one. Here this is the marginal cost. Let me say this is the marginal cost. This U shape is the marginal cost. Egaa production keessatti kun marginal product jedhama. Ishiin immoo U shape fakkaattu kun marginal cost jedhamtini. So the marginal cost is what? It is decline initially. Here, initially the marginal cost is downward sloping, indicating region of increasing the marginal returns. Yes, it is true. The marginal return is increasing. Marginal product is increasing. When the marginal product is increasing, the cost is what? It is decreasing. Marginal cost is decreasing. Kun marginal product in asii yeroo dabalu marginal cost immoo maaltaa decline ta'anii jechuudha. Kanaaf production in asii waan dabalaa jiruuf marginal return in marginal product of maybe it is the labor ta'uu danda'a. Inni kun asii yoo dabalaa deemu marginal product in marginal cost immoo maaltaa decline ta'a. Kana nutti agarsiisa jechuudha. So up to certain point, the marginal cost is what? It is decreasing up to this minimum point. However, eventually it becomes upward sloping, higher level of output due to diminishing marginal return. After it reaches the minimum point, the marginal cost of this curve is started to what? Rising here. It is started to increasing. It is increasing here. Why it is increasing? Because diminishing the marginal returns or decreasing the marginal returns. Yes, it is true. The marginal return is diminishing. Here, the marginal product is decline. Then the marginal cost is what? Rising or increasing. Kana nutti agarsiisan jechuudha. Jalqaba irratti marginal costiin downward slope dha. Sababni isaas marginal product waan dabaluufi. Minimum erga ga'ee booda immoo marginal costiin maal ta'a? Increase ta'uu eegala. Kunis immoo marginal return decline waan ta'uufi jechuudha. Marginal product decline waan ta'uufi jechuudha. This is what we understand from this concept of what? The marginal revenue and the marginal costs. Mathematically, we can express the marginal cost just like this. Marginal cost means change in total cost divided by change in the quantity. For perfectly competitive firm, equilibrium condition, in short run, using the marginal revenue, marginal cost approach, the first condition for firm equilibrium is when the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost or marginal revenue minus marginal cost is equal to 0. This is the condition for what? The equilibrium condition or the condition of profit maximization under perfectly competitive market. Equilibrium point condition kan nuti jennu short run perfectly competitive market tiaf marginal revenue fi marginal cost iddoo wal qixa itti ta'anii jechuudha. Iddoo marginal revenue fi marginal cost itti wal qixa ta'an maal jedhama? Equilibrium condition jennaani jechuudha. Here, for example, we have two points at this point. At point A and B, at this point, the marginal revenue and marginal cost is equal at this point. Again, at this point, the marginal revenue and the marginal cost is equal. Bakka lamatti marginal revenue fi marginal cost equal. Kun horizontal line in eenyuun marginal revenue. Ishiin tun immoo downward and into eenyu ishiin marginal cost. So iddoo isaan itti wal qaxxaamuranitti marginal cost fi at this point here the marginal revenue is equal to what? Marginal cost. Marginal cost. Again, at this point here, at this point again, we have this point, marginal revenue again it is equal with what? Equal marginal cost. Equilibrium lamatu jira jechuudha. We have two equilibrium condition for what? Marginal revenue and the marginal cost at point A and at point B. Here. At this point, marginal revenue, this black line, horizontal axis, and the downfall of this blue line, the blue line is equal at this point, at the intersection point. Intersection is marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Again, at this point, at point B, the marginal revenue and the marginal cost is again at this point is equal. But which one is the condition of the equilibrium or profit maximization? Is this point is the point of profit maximization. Profit is said to be maximized if the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and the marginal cost is increasing. Profit in tokko perfectly competitive market keessatti profit maximum jechuudhaaf marginal revenue fi marginal cost maal ta'uu qaba? Wal qixa ta'ee marginal cost immoo maal ta'uu qaba? Increasing ta'uu qaba. Fakkeenyaaf iddoo kana yoo fudhattan marginal revenue fi marginal cost wal qixa. Haa ta'u malee marginal cost increasing osoo hin taane maal ta'aa jira? Decreasing ta'aa jiraan. Kanaaf kun maal ta'uu hin danda'u? Profit maximization ta'uu hin danda'u pointing kun jechuudha. This point do not be the point of what? The point of profit maximization. Why? Because even if the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost is decline. Therefore, this is not the condition for profit maximization. The condition for profit maximization is what? Marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and the marginal cost is rising. Yes, it is true here. At this point, marginal revenue and the marginal cost is equal and the marginal cost is rising. Therefore, this is the condition for profit maximization. Kana point being iddo profit in maximum itti ta'u. Maalif marginal revenue fi marginal cost wal qixa, marginal cost immoo maal ta'uu qaba? Increasing or rising ta'uu qaba jechuudha. So this is an important point what we understand from this graph. Total revenue and the total cost equilibrium is achieved when total revenue minus total cost is equal to 0, where total revenue represents total revenue. Yeah. Again, the equilibrium for the total revenue and the total cost approach, the situation where the marginal total revenue minus total cost is equal to 0. This is the break-even point. Ega total revenue, total cost abimmo equilibrium kan nuti jennu iddoo kami total revenue irraa yoo total cost hir'isnu wal qixa ta'a 0 yoo ta'e bakki sun maal jedhama? Equilibrium jedhamaan. Maaliif total revenue fi total cost wal qixa bakka sanarratti jechuudha. Bootaan kun maal jedhama? Break even point jedhamaan. When the total revenue is equal to total cost, or when total revenue minus total cost is equal to 0, this point is known as the break-even point. Break-even point is economics case. The equilibrium quantity is where change in a profit is 0, because profit means total revenue minus total cost is equal to 0. Therefore, profit is also 0. Ega profit is 0 jechuun maal jechuudha? Total revenue fi total cost wal qixa jechuudha. Therefore, change of the profit with respect change in quantity, which is that means change in total revenue with respect to change in quantity minus change of total cost with respect to change of the quantity is equal to 0. Kanaaf change in profit with respect to quantity jechuun maal jechuudha? Change total revenue irra change of quantity gara biraatiin ishiin tun eenyu ishiin marginal revenue. Tun marginal revenue jechuudha. Change of total cost over change of Q jechuun immoo eenyunni? Marginal cost jechuudha. There is a second condition for equilibrium is when the marginal cost must be rising at the point of what? Intersection with marginal revenue curves. As I told you, the first condition for equilibrium is what? Marginal revenue must be equal to the marginal cost. This is the first condition. The second condition is marginal cost must be rising or increasing at the point of intersection with the marginal revenue curves. That means the condition lammaffaan mine marginal revenue marginal costing maal ta'uu qaba jechuudha. Increasing ta'uu qaba akkuma isinitti himette jechuudha. Walqixa marginal revenue marginal costing walqixa ta'e kun conditionii tokkoffaadha. Conditionii lammaffaan immoo maal guutu seera kam guutuu qaba? Marginal costing dirqama isaa maal ta'uu qaba? Rising yookaan immoo increase ta'uu qaba. Condition for equilibrium and for what? For perfectly competitive firms. So as I told you, this point is even if the marginal revenue and the marginal cost is equal at this point, it's not to fulfill the condition of equilibrium, or it doesn't fulfill the profit maximizing condition, because the marginal cost is what? Declining here. But at this point is the two condition is fulfilled. Conditionii lachuu iddoo kanatti guutaniiru. Conditionii kamiin? Marginal cost fi marginal revenue fi marginal cost walqixa ta'uu qaba jedha. Yes, it is true. Equal at this point. Dhugaadha inni kun iddoo kanatti jarri lachuu walqixa. And marginal cost must be rising. Yes, it is true. Marginal cost is rising here. It is increasing. So point B is what? The point of profit maximization. Kana point B profit maximization yookaan equilibrium condition guuteera. Perfectly competitive market jechuudha. Kuni hin guunne. Conditionii barbaachisu hunda hin guunne. Marginal revenue fi marginal costiin walqixa iddoo kanatti, which is equal to marginal cost, but the marginal cost is what? It is decline here, not rising. So this point is not the point of what? It is not the point of profit maximization. Why the marginal cost is decline here? Kana pointing kun profit maximization ta'uu hin danda'u. Profit maximization kan ta'uu danda'u eessa? Point B jechuudha. Point B is the profit maximization point, because marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost at this point, and the marginal cost is what? It is increasing. Marginal cost should what? Should cut the marginal revenue from below, not from above. Yes, it is at this point the marginal cost here, the marginal cost cuts the marginal revenue curve from below here, just like this one here. Asii achi irraa olee ol muree darba jechuudha. Gara olitti ol muree darba. From below jedhu jalaa gara olitti kutee darbu jechuudha. Asittoo jalaa osoo hin taane gubbaarraa gadi kutee darba. It cuts from the above. This is not point of equilibrium. Here the marginal cost cuts the marginal revenue from below here, just like this one. But this is from the above. Marginal cost cuts the marginal revenue from the above. So this is not the condition for the equilibrium. Kanaaf kuni gubbaarra kara gaditti muree darba waan ta'eef hin ta'u. termiin akka salphaatti ilaaltan kun qormaata irratti gaaffii walitti bu'aa isinii fida. Which one of the following is true for the equilibrium condition? Wantoota akkasii fa'aa isinii kaasee fida. The condition for the equilibrium point is at the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and the marginal cost from the above. B. Marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue and the marginal cost cut the marginal revenue from below. Wantoota akkasii gaaffii kana fa'aa isin gaafata jechuudha. Kanaaf akka salphaatti ilaalina yeroo dubbannu jechuudha. In figure 2.6 means this one. At QE4 here, at QE4 here, this one. At quantity 4 means this point. At Q4, the slope of marginal cost is positive. Yes, it is true, positive. Why it is positive? Because the marginal cost curve is upward sloping. Any curve or any line that is upward sloping, it has a positive slope. Graphing kamiyyuu sloping isaa upward taatan ammaan positive yeroo hundumaayyuu jechuudha. While the slope of the marginal revenue is 0. At this point, the marginal revenue is what? 0. Because any horizontal line from your rule of mathematics, the slope of any horizontal line is what? 0. Seera mathematics keessatti sararri kamiyyuu horizontaalii ta'anan slopin isaa yeroo hundumaa maal jedha? 0 ta'a jedha. This is the rule of what? Mathematics. Kan slopin marginal cost inni positive, slopin marginal revenue immoo maal inni 0 dha. Maaliif 0 dha? Horizontal line yeroo hundumaa slopin isaa 0 waan ta'eef jechuudha. This is the rule of mathematics. The marginal revenue is 0 at all levels of the outputs. Because since it is the constant, the difference of the constant number is 0 usually. Garaagarummaan lakkoofsa dhaabbataa gidduu jiru yeroo hundumaa baay'ee differensiin isaa 0 ta'a jechuudha. Therefore, QE4 means this one is not QE1. Is the equilibrium Q1 means this one. Therefore, QE4 not Q1 is the equilibrium point as it is satisfies both condition. So even if at this point at Q1 the marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost, this point is not the point of what? The equilibrium. Why it is not the equilibrium? Because the marginal cost is what? Decline. But at this point, it is the point of equilibrium. Why? Because at this point, marginal revenue and the marginal cost is equal, and the marginal cost is what? Increasing. Kanaaf pointiin tun equilibriumii ta'uu hin dandeessuni. Maaliif ta'uu hin dandeenye? Iddoo kanatti marginal revenue fi marginal costiin walqixa ta'an illee seera tokko hin guunne, conditionii lammaffaa hin guunne. Conditionii lammaffaa maal jedha? Marginal cost must be rising jedha. Garuu marginal costiin asitti decline waan taatuuf seera sana hin guunne. Seera lama lachuu kan guute eenyuun point B. Point B irratti marginal revenuenis marginal costiinis walqixa, marginal costiin immoo maal ta'uu qaba? Increasing ta'uu qaba jedha. Guuteera seera sana. Therefore, this point B is point of equilibrium. The relationship between price and average total cost determines the profit or loss outcome for perfectly competitive firm. Kanaaf hariiroon piraayisii fi average costii gidduu jiru farmii tokkoof profitii qaba yookaan bu'aa qaba yookaan immoo kisaaraa qaba jennee murteessuudhaaf wantoota nutti agarsiisan keessaa isaan tokko jechuudha. Piraayisii fi average costiin. That means if the price is greater than average cost, the firm earns the profits. when market price allows producer at quantity where the price exceeds average costs. For example, these points. Egaa pricing average cost yoo caale dhaabbanni sun maal argata jenna? Earn profit jennaan jechuudha. Profit argachaa jira. Yoo maal ta'e pricing average cost yoo caale. Fakkeenyaaf paanaalee karvii kanarratti isa kana yoo fudhattan this is the condition where price greater than average cost. Price is the horizontal line here. This one. If you want, let I show you here. This is the price line. Price line jechuun isa kana. Akkasiin handeemu. Yes, horizontal line kun eenyunni? Marginal revenue jaa. Marginal revenue fi immoo price wal qixa jenne waan ta'eef price line jechuudha ishiin tun. Tun immoo ishiin tun biluun tun this is average cost. This curve is average cost. So the marginal revenue curve is above average cost. Kanaaf pricing horizontally deemu kun eenyurra caalaa average cost. Average cost curve ishii tana ishii jala jirtu tana. This is average cost. Average cost curve. So this average cost curve is what? It is below or less than price curve. Price curve in horizontally can deemu kun. Shin tun immoo maal ishiin average cost here. This is the average cost here. Therefore, price is greater than average cost. The graph of price is above average cost. Pricing gubbaarra jira, average cost immoo jala jira. Kun maal bakka bu'a jechuudha? Dhaabbanni kun yookaan farmiin kun profitii argachaa jira yeroo akkanaa. Yoo maal ta'e pricing average cost yoo caale dhaabbanni sun profitii yookaan bu'aa argachaa jira jenna. The second one is price is equal to average cost. Here on panel B, at the minimum point of what? At the minimum point of average cost. This is average cost curve. This is average cost curve. Average cost. And the horizontal axis is what? The horizontal axis is this one. Here, this is the price. This is the price line. Combined price here. Horizontal line in price here. Shin to remove margin, average cost here. So at this point, here at this point, the average cost and the price is what? Equal at this point. Here at this point, price is equal to what? Average cost. Iddoo kanatti pointii kanarratti jechuudha. Price fi average cost main wal qixaa jechuudha. Price is equal to average cost. The minimum point of the average cost curves, the firm earn what? Zero profit. Dhaabbanni kun immoo bu'aan isaa maa inni jechuudha? Zeero. Bu'aa homaayyuu hin arganne jechuudha. Kun yoomi? Yoo piraayisii fi average kostii wal qixa yoo ta'e dhaabbanni sun profitii zeeroo argataa jenna. The situation when the price is equal to average cost, then the firm earn or get what? Zero profits. The third condition is when the price is less than average cost, the firm incur or get what? Losses. Here, the firm maybe gets what? Losses, negative profits. This condition is again happen at, let me see, this is again the average cost curve. This is average cost, and this one is the price, that is the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue means price. For perfectly competitive market, marginal revenue and the price is equal. Now, the average cost is above the price. Curving average cost eenyu ol jira, price ya ol jira. Pricing kara gadi jirti, jala jirti. Sheet and horizontally kan deemtu tun price. Kara olii irratti yookaan gubbaa irratti kan argamu eenyuun average cost. Kana jechuun average cost eenyu ol jira, price ya ol jira. Price is less than average cost or average cost is greater than price that means. Kanaaf yeroo kana dhaabbanni kun maal argata? Loosii argata yookaan immoo negative profit argataani jechuudha. This is what we can understand from these curves. In figure 2.6 means this graph where price intersects the marginal cost above the average cost curve. Here, where price intersects the marginal cost above the average cost curves. Yes, it is true. Price intersects the marginal cost means this red line here. This red line is what? The marginal cost. So, price intersect marginal cost above average cost curve. Yes, it is true. Average cost is this one. It is below. Average cost in kara gadi jirti. Garuu pricing gubbaarra jira. Kanaaf iddoo point E kanarratti price fi marginal cost maal go'u wal qaxxaamuru. Iddoo price fi marginal cost itti wal qaxxaamuran kanarratti average cost eessa jirti? Kara gadi jirti jechuudha. Price intersect marginal cost above the average cost. Yes, it is true. Dhugaadha kuni. Average cost kara gadi jirti, jala jirti. Average cost kara gadi jirti. Yeroo jarri kun lamaan iddoo kanatti wal qaxxaamuranii jechuudha. When the marginal revenue here, the price and this marginal cost intersect, the average cost is below the point. Again, where the price intersects the marginal cost at the same level, this one, as the average cost curves, three curves intersect at the same time here at this point. The price curve, the average cost curve, the marginal cost curve intersect at the same point. Curve sadeenu iddoo tokko irratti wal qaxxaamuru. Average cost curve, marginal cost curve, price curve iddoo tokko irratti wal qaxxaamuranii. Kun yeroo kam ta'a? Yeroo price fi average cost wal qixa yoo ta'u jechuudha. The third one, where the price intersect marginal cost below the average cost. Below the average cost, yes, average cost is above here. Above what? Above the price. Price curve jechuun ishii tana. Marginal cost eessatti qaxxaamuraa? Average cost gaditti iddoo kanarratti wal qaxxaamuraan. Kun immoo yeroo akkamitti? Yeroo dhaabbanni sun bu'aan isaa kasaaraa negative profit keessa jira jechuudha. This is the condition for what? The equilibrium in the short run under perfectly competitive market. I hope you can get some important points from this video. Let we stop for today on this one. We will continue by another video. See you for the next.